Hey guys, welcome out to another stream. I've only got one dog in here today, and I don't know if you've noticed, but Peggy's actually had a haircut today. She's a little puffball right now. I'm just going to move that mic a bit closer. Peggy, come here. Come on, come up. Yeah. Have a look at her now. Say hello, Peggy. So she's all trimmed and all puffy. Go on, Peg. Off you go. Go on. Back up. Alright, guys. I'll just pop out the chat and say hi to everyone. Now, this is just once again, it's just an impromptu stream. I just thought I'd jump on and say hi to everybody. So just give me 1 second. So let's go down the line. Let's just say hi to Matthew, Josiah, into some Super Raccoon Brothers, Tamil Dragon MK Editings, Jaden, How to Eat a Pork Chop, Hauntless Studios, Realm Surfer, Fernanda, Badass Bachelors, Access Film, Jonathan Edward, Jamie Lively, I think that is. What else? Who else have we got here? Luke Ryan. I think that's everyone. Oh, Legends Universe, I'll say hi. And Reproduction. And Sal Hunt /SH. I think we've got everybody there. Oh, and Todd Jason Films. Killer Beast as well. Yarrow Mira. Waterfall Films. My good buddy Mason. Oh, thank you very much, Luke. Love you too, buddy. Yo, Jamie. Yo, Rush joins the battle. Today's topic is pretty much, guys, I was just having some fun playing with my Venom Face effect, which is our next episode, and I thought I'll just jump on and say hi. And I'll say hi to Patrick Hunter as well, and Julian Herrera from Zacatecas, Mexico. I have probably completely ruined that. Now, Plain on Alex has said he's just used my flash effects for his school project. That's awesome. I hope it worked out for you, dude. Now, this episode is brought to you by my my brother-in-law and his gift, my birthday present. He got me a slab of raspberry Pepsi Max, which is some tasty stuff. So, if there's a couple of burps in the stream, well, there always is. So, oh, and also Crimson Rennes. Say hi to Crimson Rennes, everyone. Magnificent man, that guy. If you haven't checked out his Twitter and seen, or even his community tab on his channel, and checked out the awesome Flash Season 5 suit he's working on, check it out, guys, because it is so damn good. Now, I'm going to see if I can bring up After Effects. That did not work at all. I'll just come back. There's my problem. Nope. Not working. Alright, I will fix that technical glitch right now, guys. Yes, it is working like a turd in the wind at the moment. Oh my god. Sorry, I've just done a little bit of a... I've just brought out the live chat in this stream. It is going so damn fast. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into OBS and see what is going on with my After Effects. And I'll just fix that up right now. Okay, there we go. So guys, there's a fair bit going on here. I'm still working on simplifying it a little bit. But basically, what I was working on today is getting the veins coming out of the eyelids. So you can see as I start to raw, you can see the eyelid, the veins just creep out of the eyelids like so. And everything's all tracked. So if I just do a quick... So right now we've got reflection, we've got Doug reflecting in the eyes, we've got the veins growing out as I move up. We've also got a much better render of the teeth right now. And they're actually animated as well. So when I open my mouth, you can see the teeth actually sort of open up a little bit. And as I expose a bit more of my, well, I open up my lip a little bit more, you can see some of the bottom gum actually come out as well. Now, one cool thing I'm going to point out about this, guys, is the mouth and the eyes are actually shadowing what's underneath. So if I quickly solo that and it doesn't crap itself, and I just put on the transparency, you might be able to see there's actually a drop shadow inside the eyelid and inside the mouth. And all I've done there, no, sorry, it's pre-composed, so I'm just going to open up that pre-comp. So there's a lot of pre-comps and comps and everything going on here, guys, because I'm still trying to work on this one to simplify it down. I'm getting there, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So I've tracked this in Mocha Pro, but we'll be able to use Mocha AE. And I'm sorry if I'm ignoring the chat at the moment. It's just I'm trying to just do a quick explanation of this. So what I've got is I've got a mask track for the mouth. I've got a mask track for the right eye and the left eye. And then what I've got is 2 iterations of drop shadow underneath them. So I've got one pointing downwards at 192 degrees, and then I've got one pointing upwards at 2 degrees. So that way, if I turn them both off, you can, and then I turn them back on, you can see what I've got going on. So this one is actually casting a shadow upwards from the bottom lip and the lower eyelid, and then I've got a second iteration of it that's putting a shadow down from the top lip and the upper eyelid. And what that does is, when you go back into the comp, whoops, what have I, oh, sorry guys, I'm just going to go back there and unsolo that. That's why. So what that does is it casts a little bit of a shadow from the lip onto the teeth, and it casts a shadow onto the eyelids as well, and actually just shades them in. And it gives you a little bit more depth to your composite, because basically this here is, it's just a 3D render of the Venom model that Hero Golem 3D sent me. And it's just got a tiny little bit of animation, but all I've done is just mask out the mouth and just put it behind my own mouth there. And then that's the same with the eyes. They're just the eyes of the Hero Golem 3D Venom model, just put inside my eyelids. Now, I'm just going to see if you guys have got any questions at the moment. So I'm just going to bring up the chat again. So let's have a look back. I'm just going to say hi to Gigache, one of our awesome members who's actually a sponsor of the channel. If you guys want to sponsor the channel, you'll get access to, he's already got access to the first exclusive sound pack that I've put out. And of course you get the sweet emojis, you get your name highlighted in green, and you also get this egghead emoji that he's got right there. Just excuse me, I'm just having a bit more of my tasty beverage. So I'm just going to have a read up. So I just wanted to address one. The exclusive sound pack. Well, you've got to join up and check out the sound pack if you want to see what it is. It's the first one's just a bit of fun. I actually am planning on doing some more detailed sound packs in the future, guys, and they're more along the lines of fighting sound effects and just some Foley stuff. So I'm hoping to do some like fighting sound effects, like punches and kicks, and just general movement of maybe some weapons and that sort of thing. Probably not guns, because that's just not going to happen. And my good boys over at Action VFX have a fantastic gun sound effects pack already. Super Raccoon Brother says, "Hey Grant, say cheese." But yeah, I've done my Venom effect a little bit different, because in the movie, now I've got a quick clip here that's just really low res, but I hate the way this looks. I hate how this looks. I think it looks really, really bad, like a crappy sort of Snapchat filter, because his eyes don't really, like, they sort of pop out, and then that just looks bad to me. Like, it's not really scary. The eyes come out sort of really weirdly, but watch the mouth. It just sort of grows really inorganically and just looks weird. I like the veins popping out, and that's something I've still got to work on. Like, I just wanted some subtle veins that came outside the eyes, which is why that's what I've got. I've got some veins growing out that I think are nice and subtle, and I will have some veins that actually pop out through the face here as well, just on the cheeks and maybe a couple along the forehead. But I generally don't like this effect itself. I think that looks, just the mouth, that looks horrendous the way that grows out. It just looks like someone just got the liquefy effect and they'd never used it before. But I mean, that's just my opinion. That's why this is one of the reasons why I always say that's my take on it. Like, this is my take on whatever effect this is, because I honestly think it looks scarier if you keep the scale of the eyes and it just sort of comes out of nowhere. You get some veins going on here, and you get, that's my normal size mouth, but when you chuck in some monster teeth, it looks like a lot bigger. But I mean, that's just my opinion on that, guys. So I'm just going to pop the, yes, Kevin Co, I will be uploading this before Halloween. But I generally don't have a lot of problems with the effects in Venom. I thought most of them, for the most part, were pretty good. It's just that particular shot I thought looked kind of crappy. And I know I'm not the only one that has that opinion on that one. Garcia Gamer, I'm doing well. I'm actually doing a intro for him at the moment. In between all this stuff, I will get that to you very shortly, dude. I'm just trying to make it into a template so you can work on it. Now, Beginner Studios has said, is there any motion tracking for this? Yes, absolutely. What I might do is, if I can, I'll open up Mocha and I'll show you what I've actually tracked. So, yes, let's open the Grant comp up. And hopefully we can launch Mocha Pro. And this will, yes, is this going to show up? No, it's not, damn it. Because Mocha Pro is opening up outside of After Effects. Bugger. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys, and I might see if I can open up the window. Here we go. Yep, there we go. So this is, here we are in Mocha Pro right now. I'm just going to actually jump into that and see what we've got here. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. So, as you can see, I've tracked the mouth. I don't know what is going on here, but it doesn't want to play. So I've tracked the mouth, I've tracked the eyes, each eye, and then this layer here is I've just generally tracked the face, and that general track of the face is what I'm using to implant the teeth, the eyes, and the veins. So they're just stuck to the face as sort of a general shape, rather than being stuck into the mouth or stuck into the eye. So the three tracks here are essentially just to remove that altogether. So you can call those motion masks, those ones. So all it's doing is just rotoing out the mouth completely. And then this one here is just giving me a general track of the head in translation, scale, rotation, and shear. Not perspective though, because perspective can really mess up your shot. If you're not working in 3D space, it can do some weird stuff. But I'm trying to make this one as simplistic as I possibly can. But at the same time, there's a lot of things happening in this. So you've got all these shape layers that you've got to track and get out of your shot. You've also got to track the face. On top of that, now if we jump back to After Effects, just bear with me, guys. Yep. Okay. So we jump back to After Effects as well. Let's see, I'm going to say don't save there. Yeah. You've got the drop shadows you've got to chuck in, and then you've got the teeth that you've got to drop in as well. Then you've got the eyes, and then on top of that, if you want to, you can add reflections in those eyes, which I think always adds a little bit of extra depth. So I've got a scared out of his mind dug in there as well. And then on top of that, we've got the vein layers, which I'm thinking I might also add a little bit of blur to, just to add a little bit of shading. And then on top of that, we've got trackers, and then I've also got an iteration of Magic Bullet looks, just to give it a bit more oomph. But putting all that together gives you this pretty sweet shot. So it just starts as a normal face and then just goes straight into, oh my god, you stole the last donut. But I am super happy with it, actually. Sorry, guys. Todd Jason says, I appreciate the Jurassic Park shirt you're wearing in that shot. Thank you very much, dude. I actually bought that at Kmart a couple of months ago. That's one of my fat guy shirts. See, I have several different faces of t-shirts because my weight goes up and down absolutely shockingly. Like, I'll just eat crap and work out, and then my cardio will sort of go off the rails, and then I'll fatten up to a certain weight, and then I'll just go, oh crap, I can't wear half of my 90-something t-shirts. So I've got my fat guy shirt section, and then when I'm starting to sort of realize, man, I'm running out of fat guy shirts, I better start losing weight and getting back down to a regular weight. Beginner studios, no, I would never keyframe a shot like this, because there's just, if you have a look, if we do the preview, first off, look at where my face is right now, and then I turn upwards. So not only do I turn upwards, but look at all of just the subtle movements in the shot. The fact that there's a perspective change means that this would be a nightmare to keyframe. So I'd never go in there and just keyframe a shot like this. Tracking works so much better, and when you've got a plugin that comes free with After Effects with Mocha AE, there is no reason to keyframe a shot like this unless it's really, really short. And this shot goes for 29 frames, so that's a short shot. But look at the amount of movement in those 29 frames. We've got scaling, we've got rotation, we've got perspective change, and we've also got positional change as well. Now add all those ones up over 29 frames, and I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. And this is an easy track. Excuse me, I just don't breathe in drinks because it's really, really bad for you. Now I'm just going to pop back to camera one because I'm a narcissist and I need to see myself on film. Just kidding. Who could be a narcissist with this face? Now I'll just pop up the chat again. Now I'm just going to have a look down here. Yeah, thank you, Rennes, saying that it looks more terrifying than the movie sequence. Thank you, because that's what I was going for. I thought if I could actually pull off a face that looks genuinely scary, or at least funny scary, so much more accomplished than the actual shot in the movie. Because, yeah, I saw that shot in the movie when I was at the cinema and I was like, what happened to his mouth? And I'll fully admit I did actually have a play with some liquefy effects, and I took them out because I thought that looks ridiculous. It's been done before with Andrew Kramer. He did his whole Demon Cam app, and he did the Demon Face Warp effect, and I thought, you know, it's 2018. I think we're past that. So, yeah, that was just my thing. I didn't want to do any exaggeration of the eyes and the mouth because I thought if you get the teeth right and you get the eyes right, and you have a good enough sound effect on there, like a raw sound effect, so, not that bad, but if you do that right, the shot should just work. Now, I'll just read a little bit of the chat too. Yes, thank you, Kilkenny. Yeah, I think that exactly, that it's more unnerving if it's not exaggerated, because the more exaggerated it is, I mean, the less frightening it is. Now, Beginner Studio says, how long did it take for you to come up with this? I've been working on it probably for about 8 days, and that's just picking at it on several days because, yeah, well, anyone who's attended one of these streams knows what my schedule's like. It is busy, busy, busy. So I just sort of crack away at it as I can. A couple of times I've just had Dexter just out here playing with that little Pez dispenser truck there. But he's asleep at the moment, and I'm pretty sure he's getting sick. Now, Akumo said, how did you get the thumbnail? That thumbnail is actually Hero Golem 3D's Venom model. So I actually posed him like that. So I gave him a big smile, made his eyes nice and wide, and that's a testament to his post-morph rigging in Cinema 4D, because I was able to do that in a couple of minutes. Electric Game says, do you know who Jair Bolsonaro is? No, dude. Sorry, I don't. Sorry, guys. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Sammy Diaz says, when are you going to ask Crimson Rennes for lightning generator in Cinema 4D? We've had several chats about his lightning generator in Cinema 4D. It's just a matter of us getting together and just finding time to actually explore it together, because I'm just trying to word this the right way. I don't want to take anything away from what Rennes does at all. I think him and the guys that he's working with that come up with these awesome animations, come up with this lightning generator. I've been working on the Cinema 4D models, and all of that stuff have done an amazing job. And I don't want to just sort of, I don't want to say, hey guys, can I have that so I can do a tutorial on it? It just sort of seems like I'm taking advantage of them, and that's not anything I want to do with those guys, because I think they do a fantastic job, and I want them to be completely comfortable sharing that sort of thing with me. So I don't know. I think we just need to have a chat about it a little bit longer. I don't know how open they are to sharing that with the world as yet, but I think that's just something I'll have to have a chat with them about in the DMs. Akumo, no one has the download link for that Venom model in the chat. I'm working with Hero Golem 3D, and you can check out his Instagram. If you just go on Instagram and search Hero Golem 3D, you'll find him, and by all means, guys, give him a follow. He's actually I think he's out of town for the next couple of days, but I'm sure he'd appreciate you guys giving him a follow. He's also on Twitter as well. I might see if I can pull up his Twitter. But I'm just going to say to anyone who's asking in the chat for the actual model, I can't give it to you because I don't own it. That is 100% his model. So I'm not in a position to actually give it to you guys. Now, just bear with me. I'm just going to see if I can find his... I know I've got his Twitter. Sorry, guys. I should have had this prepared beforehand. This is the problem with doing impromptu streams. Okay, so I'm just chucking in Okay, so that's the Twitter for Hero Golem 3D. By all means, go and give him a follow. He's got his DeviantArt website there as well, so he's got a lot of artwork on there. And check it out, because the guy is an absolute beast when it comes to this stuff. Krishna Pradeep, could you give us the one you found on YouTube? If you go onto YouTube and just type Venom 3D model, I think it's probably about 4 or 5 down. And the guy's done like a remix of the Venom, Venom saying like a turd in the wind. It's pretty funny. But I mean, the model itself, I don't think it's actually rigged. It might be, but the face isn't rigged. Actually, no, it might be rigged. It might be. I can't tell you off the top of my head because I can't remember. Sorry. Now, I'm just going to scroll up the chat and just check out some of your questions. FX Extra Films has said, do you think you're going to do a slow motion flash effect? I might try and do one. It's the hardest thing with doing a slow motion flash effect is either you have to act in slow motion, which is kind of harder than it seems, or you have to shoot with a slow motion camera, which is, it's okay if you have one, but how many of you guys actually have a slow motion camera to perform a slow motion effect? Because it's great if you can shoot at like 60 frames per second and you have something like Twixtor that you can slow it down. But when you get into After Effects and try to do it natively, it doesn't really work that well. Excuse me. Yes, Kilkenny, you could use an iPhone, yes, but I don't have an iPhone. But the biggest problem with me doing a slow motion effect is I don't have anyone else to film with, really, apart from Dexter, who, even in slow motion, that kid would not stand still. But I might be able to, I might be able to do something where I'm acting with myself. Zoom, what are you doing? Can anyone ask Zoom why he's talking about boners? Yes, Kilkenny, the GH4 can do slow motion, but it restricts you to 96 frames per second, which it's not really that good. And it's also, it brings it back down from 4K to full HD, and you really notice the difference when you get into the edit. I honestly thought it looked crap. And the difference, the GH5, which I don't have, which I'd like to get, that has, I think it does 4K, or it might even be 2K slow motion, but I'll have to talk to my buddy Luke over at Action VFX, because he has one. Now, Taylor Gilbert saying elongated man discussion. Are you talking about the effect or the character? Thank you, Kilkenny. Yes. Well, 4K at 60 frames per second would be fantastic. The biggest problem with like elongated man effects and Mr. Fantastic effects is you've really got to have a CGI stunt double to pull them off, because you can't use the liquefy effect and you can't use mesh warps to pull them off, because it ends up looking really, really crappy. So until I can actually, that's a really hard one to teach, because you're trying to teach someone how to not only make that CGI stunt double, but how to animate it and light it and texture it. And that's not something that I have a lot of time to do. That'd be like a 5-part series, and to be honest, by the second part you wouldn't have anyone actually watching it, because I've done, the last time I did the CGI stunt double tutorial, a lot of people watched the first one, very few people watched the second and the third part. So it's really hard to do multiple part tutorials, because you tend to get a lot of viewership on that first one, and then the viewership just goes down goes downhill, and you really think, well, why did I bother making this really complicated tutorial? Zoom, if you keep being an idiot, I'm just gonna mute you in the chat. Seriously, dude. H Bridge Briss, how's my baby? My baby is okay. He's got a little bit of a cold at the moment, so I've been wiping his nose non-stop all day. But we took Peg to the groomers today. We also went to the park and had a bit of a play, and then we went to the supermarket. You know what I love about the supermarkets now? That they give free fruit at the entryway. And my boy absolutely loves apples. So whenever we go to the supermarket, he gets an apple or a banana, and I think that's awesome. No, Techosaurus is in. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Techosaurus, him and his posse are building a fan-made Arrowverse, or is it? It's an Arrowverse game, isn't it? And I would highly say check out his channel, Techosaurus. If you want to put your a link to your channel in the chat, go for it. I'll make sure that everyone can see it. Yes, Zoom, sort that boner out. You give that a C into. I'm sure you're well versed. Kane is asking for my thoughts on the Elseworld crossover set photos. I really haven't looked at many of them. I think I'm just gonna wait until I see the actual thing itself. I've seen a couple of ones. I saw that John Wesley Shipp is back at his 90s Flash suit, which that's awesome. I actually remember that show in all of its cheesy glory. It'll be interesting. I'm hoping that it's more like Turtles Forever. If anyone's actually seen Turtles Forever, where they brought every iteration of the Turtles into the same universe. I just wish that the 2012 Turtles had been around at the same time, but never mind. That's one of the best crossover episodes I've ever seen. It's right up there with Batman meets Scooby-Doo. Yes, that's the thing. Now, I'm just going to scroll up. The Tarif 1972 says, are you going to sell effects in the future like footage crate or video copod? I might sell sound effects packs, but I don't know. I mean, it's been nearly 5 years of giving away stuff. Unless I have something that let's say it this way. I would rather give exclusive packs to people who sponsor the channel rather than, or join me on Patreon, than sell training or sell effects packs. I'd rather do that. I'd rather have people come on board and sponsor the channel to make more of that stuff that I can give away rather than sell it, if that makes sense. Sorry, guys, I'm just catching up. Taylor Gilbert says, I am happy that you gave your personal opinion. It means a lot. You just helped me with something I've worked on for the past 3 days, and I'm glad I didn't spend too much time. Well, I'm glad, dude. I'm glad to help out. Can you make the weather control effect from the Flash? A lot of those weather effects were pretty much like the tornado effect. I really want to nail a tornado. I was watching The Flash the other night when he did the tornado arms to... Oh, God, I don't even know who he did it to. But I think it might just be a simple particle effect, like in either Particular or... I mean, it might even use Pyrocluster in Cinema 4D, which... I don't know. I didn't really like the Pyro... I've tried doing a Pyrocluster tornado before, and I didn't really like the result. And I didn't really like the result when I experimented with the tornado effect in Particular. But if you guys have actually... You should check out Red Giant on Twitter, because they're coming out with a new version of Trapcode Particular that has a lot of fluid dynamics in it, and it looks balls to the wall insanely good. I might see if I can bring it up in the browser here, and I can feel a burp coming on. So just fair warning, guys. Now, 5. Yeah, here we go. So you can see there, Trapcode Suite 15 with new fluid dynamics. I'm gonna burp off camera, like aim it that way, because I'm not dark side Phil. I'm not gonna snort and burp into the mic. Oh no, I can feel it going down. You've got a reprieve. Yeah, you can see it there. It just, I mean, Trapcode Suite it's relatively expensive. Now I'm saying relatively. It is, but if you're using fluid dynamics and particle sims a lot, it's really worth it. Eduardo Garduno said, would you ever do an iron spider effect when it comes together on his body? It's pretty much the same as the Iron Man sit-up effect from Infinity War. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but I remain hopeful that I'll be able to do something like that. Kilkenny, I assure you that that burp is going to come back. I can feel it. It's sitting around here, and it's just, I think it's waiting for its moment to strike. Now, the terrific says, let's make a movie competition where we have to insert the maximum effects you've taught throughout the years, and it has to make sense. Oh my god. Dude, it's hard enough to get people to enter a regular movie short film competition. In all seriousness, I'm just going to bring us back to camera 1. Because if anyone's been following me on Twitter or has checked the community tab, we had over 100 entries for this latest short film competition in the first month and a half. And I went through every single one of them to see whether they followed the rules to get them approved. And I approved 17 out of over 100 entries. That's how many people did not follow the rules. And honestly, that was friggin' heartbreaking, because I worked really hard on this, we got a whole bunch of prizes. We've got the most prize we've ever had on any competition on this channel, over $3,500 in prizes from a whole bunch of different sponsors. The rules were really simple. You had to put a title card at the start that had the Film Learnin logo from the entry pack. You had to put Film Learnin 100K in the title. It had to be a minimum of 1 minute long or a maximum of 3 minutes long. And over 95% of the entries didn't follow those rules. And I was just sitting there going, what did I do wrong that actually caused people to just not read any of the rules or look at any of the update videos? It was devastatingly depressing just watching all that stuff and just thinking. One of the videos was someone who was having a problem uploading with their channel, and they were just talking generally to their channel, like, hi everybody, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what's happening, but I can't upload videos to my channel. And somehow that was entered in my short film competition, along with a whole bunch of links to people's channels rather than any specific video. And even looking through their channels, there was no entry for the short film competition. So yeah, that sucked, but at least we're getting some more entries in. It's just we're probably going to have the least amount of legitimate entries in this competition than we ever have in 4 years of doing competitions. But let's get back and get some positive crap happening here. Hang on. God, that burp. What is in this stuff? A burp suppressor? Anime guy short says back to Venom. Well, yes, the Venom Effect will be out as soon as I've finished it. Now, if I can somehow get back. Sorry. Sorry, guys. My cam was off there for some reason. No, I'm back. See? I'm back. Peg's back. So, this will not be... This particular effect right here will not be hard once I upload the episode. There we go. Now, technically, I'm not facing to the mic, so... Oh, I don't remember eating that. Yes, so everyone that's everyone that's just tuned in, yes, farewell, burp. We hardly knew ye. As you peter off into the ether, we say, fairly well. Godspeed. So yeah, anyone who's just tuned in, here's a quick preview of the Venom Effect that's coming up on the channel. It's still work in progress, okay? Because we've still got to add some more veins, but for the most part, she's pretty much done. So you can see, there's my regular eyes, and they, as we tilt up, they pop in and liven up a bit. And then we've got some lovely teeth, courtesy of the Hero Golem 3D model, as well as the eyes. Now, so this is the teeth. Now, all I can say, see, all they are is just tracked. So you can see there's a little bit of movement in that jaw. Now, that's behind my face, just masked out. So that's actually underneath here. So when I open up, la 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 la. Never mind, I'm an idiot. And of course with the eyes, so that's just the teeth. And next we just have the eyes themselves. So I've just masked out the eyes really quick, and then we've got the tracking on those as well. And because they're behind my big ugly mug, and we've masked them out correctly, oh, there we go, they just stick behind there and perfectly tracked. And then of course we've got the final vein layers, which if I solo them, that's all they are. They're just a couple of vein masks that pop out like that. So you put it all together, and there you have it. Now obviously guys, the tutorial itself is going to be a hell of a lot more concise than just my ranting and ravings on a stream. Now, you probably noticed I've got burns on both of my elbows as well. Dexter and I went to, and my wife went to a new pool in our neighborhood that also has a gym and everything like that. But on their opening day, they had this massive, like, bouncy castle that was also a slide. That was like a Lightning McQueen Cars thing. And I went down it the first time, totally fine. We went for a swim, and then we came back, and the chlorine must have, like, I don't know, made my skin, like, really, really sticky. So Dexter went down there, no problem at all. And then I went down after him, and both my elbows got scuffed up something shocking just by going down a rubber slide. It was like this. And I got off, and was like, what the hell was that? So, yeah, it's like weird first degree freaking carpet burns or something on my arms, and there's a bit on my upper thigh. So super, super painful. Now I'm just gonna check out a couple of what's his Instagram? Akumo. It's just Hero Golem 3D, the same as well. Yes, Andrew Souls. I have actually upgraded to 2019. For some reason, I'm still in 2018 on that project. I'm not entirely sure. The Terrific, yes, I do like chimichangas very much. I actually had my first chimichanga a couple of months ago. And I thought, damn, this is pretty good. Krishna Pradeep says Burp Effect. Funnily enough, guys, I'll just say the very first exclusive pack for anyone who is either a sponsor to the channel or has joined the Patreon is the sequel to our fart pack from last year. It is the fart and burp pack. So, yes, the very first exclusive pack to the channel for anyone who sponsors is actually a fart and burp pack. So you get 10 of my farts in glorious like CD quality audio, and 4 of my rather large and small burps, because it's important to have variety also in that pack. Trolley Tan, what do I think of Adobe Premiere Rush? I think that I will never use it, pretty much. I don't see the reason for having it when you have Premiere, unless you're editing on the go, which I am never editing on the go. Every time I go out and shoot something, it always comes back to my studio. I don't really have a laptop or anything. So yeah. Now, Beginner Studio says, I don't know if he's serious or joking. I've missed that part in the chat, so what are we talking about here? And yes, Tyler, this is the most professional show ever. That's right. I can do that. I can do that voice too. And by the way, I love that room tour that you did. I was sitting there on my couch just cacking myself laughing. I loved it. So guys, Tyler has a video up on his channel where he's doing a room tour, and the ending is just, it's both disgusting and hilarious at the same time. Beginner Studios, I am 110% serious about the burp and fart pack. That is the very first exclusive pack I put out for both sponsors and Patreons. If I you know what? I can actually prove it. I can. If I need to, I can totally prove that. In fact, I will right now. Here we go. There you go, guys. So that was a post that went directly out to the members only. There it is. Member exclusive fart and burp sound pack. Lawyered. Malik, I wasn't going to start putting fart and burp things. Oh, Zoom's back and he's got another boner. Dude, if that lasts for more than 4 hours, see your doctor. Hammer Luigi Bro says, I have one request that I need from you, and that is anime effects like your old school videos, for example, DBZ effects. Anime style effects. You know what? I do want to do some anime style effects. I've actually got a pack of, I suppose they're like sort of flash animations, like anime style animations. And I could totally do that. It was a while back. I actually bought them from Video Hive, and I was planning on doing a whole episode on them. But then Video Hive sort of changed their affiliate program, and it kind of wasn't, I don't know. It's one of those ones that sort of went by the wayside, unfortunately. I can't help but just have a little bit of a laugh at that chat exchange from Crimson and Zoom, because here's Zoom talking about his boner, and then you've got Crimson Rennes asking what happened to being a scary speedster demon, and he's like, I changed. See, this is what happens when you have an encounter with the Black Flash. He turns you into a boner wielding supervillain. Sorry, I just saw anime guy shorts. Oh god. This is just what you want when you come on streams. You just, you really need a good heaping bowl of boner talk, really, don't you? I'll tell you what, anyone else that's got a stream on right now, there's some stiff competition from Film Learnin. See what I did just then? I drank a drink of water, and then I came straight back to the burp fluid. Now, I was actually thinking about doing a Halloween stream, guys. I'm not sure yet, because Halloween's actually on a Wednesday, and I don't know how that's going to work out. Of course, Zachary Justice, I did. Guess what? I'm a dad, so I'm allowed to use dad jokes. I qualify. Yes, Akumu, his Venom model is amazing, and I love working with it. Can you make your own Council of Wells? I would, Trolley Tram, but I hate the Council of Wells. I think that's one of the worst things they introduced in Season 4. Cannot stand it. I am not a huge fan of Sherlock Wells, and I wasn't a big fan of Hare Wells either. I wish that they could bring back a Tom Cavanagh Wells character that I didn't hate, because I loved Harry and I loved HR. I think they were great characters. They worked in that universe. But then, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Council of Wells. And I've never talked to anyone who actually was a fan of the Council of Wells. You know why no one likes Hare Wells? Because the only person that can truly pull off a turtleneck is Archer. Krishna's got to go, so Godspeed. Now, can you make a tutorial for Fantastic Beast spells? I would actually have to watch that movie. I don't know. I have a thing about Eddie Redmayne. Ever since I watched... what was that god-awful movie he was in? Jupiter Ascending. I watched The Theory of Everything first, and then I saw Jupiter Ascending, and I was like, can this guy act or not? Because I don't know what the hell he was doing in that movie. Yes. Yes, friends. I really did want to see the OG Wells. It sucks that we can't see the OG Wells because, unfortunately, Eobard Thawne relieved him of his life. Fortnite Effect. I have no idea what that actually means. I know there's a game called Fortnite. I've never played it or seen anything about it. I just know that if you play Fortnite, you have a high chance of contracting ligma balls. Now, how about the effect where the powers are sucked out by the dagger? Cicada effect. Troll Dan, also known as the Blast, Dan, he's actually sent me some cicada breathing effects, so we'll probably do a cicada voice effects maybe next week. It doesn't seem like it's a very difficult voice to nail. And I just love the fact that it's actually Ozzy from the American Pie movies that plays Cicada. Because the moment I saw him, I'm just like, hey, it's Ozstriker. And I can't say his nickname on the stream because, yeah, Uh, Sorry, let's just check out a couple of questions here. Will CC work you will CC work faster on lower specs or CS6? Well, CC should work faster than CS6 because it's the next version of it. It's just, that's kind of like saying the 10th version of something should work better than the first version. Like 1.0 shouldn't work faster than 10.0 because they're improving it each time. Sorry. XXC Manson XX Production said, "Hi, I just joined the stream and I'm 14. I've been working on After Effects for 2 years, and your videos have helped me with films, and now I'm in drama editing videos, and I'm making a yearbook design." Okay. Well, if you're doing anything with a yearbook, just don't write on your yearbook, "Have you boofed yet?" Because that's just an awful thing to write on anything. And no one should ever know what boofing is. Ever. No beginner studios, I have not used Blender. I'm trying to restrict myself to one 3D program that I can barely use, and that's Cinema 4D. Yeah, time travel could bring back the OG Wells. I don't know. Would it still work the same way that the Crisis X Reverse Flash came back? Can anyone explain to me how that worked? The Crisis X Reverse Flash looked like Wells. I don't understand how any of that worked, and I don't even think the writers did. I liked Crisis X. I thought it was probably the best thing that happened last year, as far as the Arrowverse is concerned, but I do not understand what the hell that was about. Malik Studios, I would recommend that you don't look up, do not Google what boofing is. Just don't. Batman confirmed Revenge is full. Oh, God. You might think that, Rennes, but according to Matt Lesch's Twitter, he was never asked about Crisis X. They never asked him whether he wanted to be a part of it. That's just if my memory serves, because I do follow him on Twitter, and I do remember him saying that they never even approached him. Why is Legends of Tomorrow so weird? I have no idea. All I know is that as far as a tone goes, the only tonally consistent show in the entire CW Arrowverse is Legends of Tomorrow since season 2. It's always a fun, goofy show that doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever. The other shows are tonally all over the map. Parker Allen, I've been told to ignore any questions about Fortnite. Now, I'm going to get another drink. Now, guys, we're vastly approaching 1 hour on stream, and I might have to... This is going to sound extremely lame, but I might have to go and water the lawn. Yes, I'm one of those people that actually has to water their lawn. No, we actually got turf put in the front yard, and I've made it my mission in life to take care of it and make sure that it doesn't die, because in Australia, if you don't water grass, it dies very, very quickly because it's so damn hot here. Yes, I completely agree, Rennes, that it would have been much more intriguing if it was Matt Lester who played Eobard in the crossover, because I love what that guy does. He's just got that right amount of just smarminess, and at the same time it feels like it's just this malevolence that's just boiling under the surface. He always seems to be sort of really cool and calm, but at the same time, you can see that there's always something going on in his brain. And I loved just how afraid he was of the Black Flash in Legends. Like you could see he was trying to put on a brave face and act tough, but he was scared to death of him. And I just loved the guy's performance. I hope we see him again, honestly. No, I haven't watched Daredevil Season 3. God, I want to. At the moment, I'm trying to cannonball through Gotham Season 4. Because at the moment, my buddy Uwe's, Red Alert Productions, has done a video essay on Gotham. And I started watching it, and then he started talking about what happens to Solomon Grundy, a.k.a. Butch. And I had to stop it, because I could feel him spoiling the whole arc of Solomon Grundy to Butch. So I've got to go through that so I can finish watching his video essay, because I'm quite enjoying those. One thing I will say about Gotham, guys, if you guys watch Gotham or have watched it, that show has improved so much over 4 seasons. I did not like the first season of Gotham. I thought stylistically, and as far as the production value goes, it was a beautiful show to watch, but it was really, really hammy for me. Like, everyone was just so over the top, but at the same time, you've got this massive tonal shift of everyone being really over the top, and then you've got this straight edge Jim Gordon who's taken completely seriously. And you've also got that juxtaposition of the mystery behind Bruce Wayne's death, Bruce Wayne's parents' death, and that whole mystery about who killed them, which is taken completely seriously, and it's presented in a very dramatic, dark, serious way. And then you've got the Penguin and the Riddler, and I've got to say it, I did not like Jada Pinkett Smith's performance of Fish Mooney. I don't know what she was doing with that accent, but she's pretty much the main reason I did not like the first season of Gotham. Her performance, I just don't like. Even when they brought her back in season 3, I was so glad when they killed her off. But it's, yeah, I do like certain things. I love Cameron Monaghan's interpretation of the Jerome, or let's just face it, it's the Joker. I don't know why they're not allowed to say that. But I love what they've done with Gotham. So they've sort of really downplayed the over-the-top stuff now. But there's still sort of a tonal break between whenever they focus on Batman / Bruce Wayne stuff with the supervillains. Because, I mean, Penguin's still way over the top, and Barbara Keane's probably the weakest link in Gotham at the moment, because she's still very, very over the top. But sorry. Beginner Studios just says, did Chuck Norris die in the Thanos snap? Of course not. Who do you think made the Infinity Stones? They are Chuck Norris's turds. Marquez Film says, I love your studio. Thanks, dude. I actually cleaned it the other day, believe it or not. Yeah, and yes, I am excited to see Joaquin Phoenix's version of the Joker. Zoom, Gotham. Look, Gotham's worth a watch, just out of curiosity. If you can get through the first season of it, it improves greatly. Especially after in the second half of the second season, it improves greatly, because they sort of get into a groove, and it's so much better after they've sort of, I suppose, they realize what the show is and where it's going. Then it just works so much better. Peg. Bloody dog. Avi Arad said that Carnage is a kid-friendly character and doesn't deserve an R rating. What? Has he ever... Has he ever read a comic book? That's insane. Burp 3 and A New Hope. Oh. I should have said that Chuck Norris's kidney stones are the Infinity Stones, but Chuck Norris wouldn't get kidney stones. They'd just break up on re-entry. Guys, I think Dexter's not too far from waking up, and I'm not going to bring him in because he's sick, and he's going to wake up cranky. I know it. I'm just going to check the monitor. Yeah, he's not far from waking up, but oh, thank you, Screefers. Solid 8. That's pretty high praise for a burp. But yeah, I remain quite hopeful that the Joker movie is going to be good. I hope so. Until we see a trailer, like, I see what the tone they're going for, but until we see a trailer, I'm just gonna go and sit on that fence and just remain firmly planted on said fence and just remain hopeful, because Warner Brothers, they have the ability to make good comic book movies. For some reason, they keep choosing not to. For every friggin' Wonder Woman, there's a Batman versus Superman or a Justice League. You know? They seem to get cold feet. So, I think ultimately they need to make their comic book movies lower budget so they don't have so much invested and they don't keep freaking out. Oh, Leak, no, you can't move in. I have more than enough people to look after in this house. Besides, the couch there's taken up by the dogs. Jan, we learned how to edit from you, but how did you learn this cool effect? Well, something like the Venom Effect, which I can just bring up again. That's actually a lot easier than you think. After you've been doing these things for a while, it's really just track the face, remove the mouth, remove the eyes, throw something in, add some drop shadows to give it some dimension, that sort of thing. Very, very... It's easy but complicated at the same time. Like, what actually took a little while to figure out was getting the veins to pop through. Like, actually getting these veins to pop through around the eyelids without them actually being on the eyelids. And that was a matter of using that tracking data that was... So, sorry guys. I'll just... I don't know what's going on. There we go. It's loading up now. Sorry, it's just chugging. Yeah, that was a matter of taking these mouth, right eye and left eye masks into their own comp. And then, essentially what I did was, I inverted the mask, so I wasn't removing the eyelid itself, I was removing everything else around it, and then doing an alpha, putting the veins underneath that layer, and then doing an alpha inverted track matte to it. So, essentially, I was using the eye to remove everything around the vein layer. Now, I'm obviously not explaining this very well, but essentially I used the eye itself to tell the veins not to be around it. It's a terrible explanation. But this is why I script my tutorials, guys, and I don't just talk off the cuff, because one, they'd be like 40 minutes long, and two, you just get bored out of your brain because they would not be concise whatsoever. Sorry, Ninja Josh says, does these download for the Flash Strike pack on Android? No, dude. You've got to use those in... You can use them in any editing program that uses alpha channeled PNG sequences, but you will not be able to use them on an Android. Yeah, just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to check the baby monitor because I can hear him moving around. Sorry, I just thought it'd be random. And I thought, that's a good finale, guys. So, gang, I'm going to maybe do a little bit more work. I'm trying to get this one out for Halloween. That's one effect, Joseph, that I can't do. Growing hair. I can get some great old man hair around the sides there. My wife floated the idea of getting a friggin' tattoo of some hair there, and I'm just like, dude, no. I've had no hair on top of my head since I was like 18. So there's no way I'd ever bother doing that. I'm too lazy to get that done anyway. I'll just answer this one last thing from Psycho Kai. He said, can I shoot cinematography with a Nikon Coolpix P600? Does it have a video function? As long as your camera has a decent lens on it, and if you can take a good photo with your camera and it looks great, you should be able, and it has a video mode, that's important, then you should be able to get some decent cinematography out of it. So I hope that answers your question. If your camera takes really good photos and it has a video mode, you should be able to get a decent video or cinematography out of it. The terrific, what we might do is, because I've had this question a bunch of times about someone who has a video that they want to show me. We might do a stream where people can just post their videos, and that way you can just share them live on the stream. If people want to click on them, that's fine. The last stream we actually watched someone's fan-made trailer for Elseworlds, and I critiqued it there, and I felt like I owed him a better explanation, because I did that stream like really, really early in the morning, and I felt like I didn't give him my best critique then and there. And it was his first fan-made trailer, and I felt bad that when I was doing the critique on it anyway. Even though it was constructive, I was sort of stumbling over myself in that. If I'm going to critique someone's work and give them constructive feedback, I usually would do that in the form of an email, so I can actually write out a clear, concise critique of what you need to improve, what was good, what was bad, that sort of thing. So I don't know if I'm ever going to do that stuff live, because just watching one of my streams right now, I'm not the most concise person when it comes to live streaming and just sort of trying to get my thoughts out of this egg-shaped noggin. So yeah, I'm not sure whether I'd do that or not. I'd probably lean towards not doing it live. Yes, Joseph, feedback can be mean sometimes. Even constructive feedback can feel like you've stabbed someone right in the ass. And yes, sorry guys, Dexter is up. We've had a great time here with 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I am going to jump off the stream now, but do wait out for, I'll either do a Halloween stream where I'm going to throw on a costume, because why not? It's very rare that a 38-year-old man gets to put on a costume for any known reason. So I might do that. Or we'll get the Venom face effect one up in the next couple of days. So I'm going to jump off, guys. I hope you guys had a good time, and I'll see you, of course, on the archive. As always, guys, if you'd like to sponsor the channel, you can click the join button below. You can also check out our Patreon in the description. Make sure you head to filmlearnin.com and check out the 100K competition, guys. You still have, I think, 13 more days to enter the competition. So, 1 hour short film. A 1 minute short film is the minimum. Make sure you check out the entry pack and check out the rules. There's still plenty of time. Over $3,500 in prizes from our great friends over at Action VFX, School of Motion, Filmstro, Grayscale Gorilla. Plenty of stuff that you can win, and you get a certificate just for entering as well, guys. So, thank you very much for joining me. Good luck to Zoom and his boner. I hope he gets that all sorted out. And until I see you again, guys, keep learning.